Welcome to Discover Indie Film. I'm your host, Jeff Howard, and I'm very happy to have two fine young men with me on the podcast. I've got Patrick Quinlan and Sean Dube. Hey, guys.
Hello.
Hey.
Hello.
This is the team that made Bro Code. And you should watch Bro Code. You should go watch Bro Code as soon as you can. Just use the show notes to find out where to watch it. And then you will have watched it. But this episode...
And then come back.
Come back. Oh, yeah. Bro Code, by the way, the award-winning film Bro Code that was an official selection at Film Beige in Los Angeles in 2023.
Oh, no, stop.
Tacoma Awards, what are you going to do? Oh, now I'm going to... They're both smiling at me, but now I'm going to make them mad. There was actually... It just popped in my head that every once in a while, I whip out a fun award for comedy duo. Because I, as someone who grew up on film and Crosby and Hope and Pryor and Wilder, like there's something special about a comedy duo on screen. So I probably, by the way, I have the power. I can give you best comedy duo right now for Bro Code.
I didn't go back. For an award
but you know
show.
what I mean?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I left the suit at home.
You could be grade grubbing, but anyway, that's all we're going to talk about Bro Code for today because Patrick and Sean are going to answer the Discover Indie Film 4 questions, which are: name 3 films you love, just 3 favorite films, a film you consider underrated, a film you consider overrated, and a lesser-known film that people should seek out. It's just a fun way to talk about movies. And by the way, when I got 2 people, I always do question one, question two, like snake it so that no one goes first every time.
Yeah.
Unless you guys have a dom-sub relationship and someone goes first all the time.
It's undefined.
It is. So who would like to name 3 of their, just 3 favorites? Yeah, I intentionally make the question, it used to be people used to be like, what are my 3 the 3 best films of all time? I'm like, no, don't give yourself so much pressure. They don't have to be the best films. Just 3 things you love.
Okay, I'll go first. So 3 films I love.
Sean's going first.
Yeah, this is Sean. Hello, everybody. 3 films I love. All right, I'm going to start with, could also be the lesser known film that more people should watch, but it's definitely been a very special film for me, Death to Smoochie, which was directed by Danny DeVito. It's this lovely dark comedy with Edward Norton and Robin Williams. Love that movie. Cannot watch it enough. I've seen it a ton of times, and it's still funny every time. So that would be my number 1. Number 2, now we'll get into the serious movies. No Country for Old Men is another just an incredible film, so masterfully made and executes on every level from visuals to performance, editing, sound effects, right? And just an incredible, captivating film that doesn't use music at all to keep your attention, right? So super, super incredible. And then the third film, I'm torn.
You can name 2 if you have to.
Okay, so there's a tie here. They're both Denis Villeneuve films, Sicario and Blade Runner 2049. And to me, they're just so beautiful and they're really inspiring. I find all of his work particularly inspiring. But both of those movies were, seeing them in the theater and at the end being fuck, I got to make movies. These are... So those be the 3 for me.
Excellent. All right, Patrick?
All right. The movies that come to mind are probably ones that I discovered when I was falling in love with movies in high school and renting DVDs from Blockbuster or the Family Video. But one of the top ones would be Cool Hand Luke. Mm-hmm. Just dug Paul Newman, and I just dug the style, the vibe. It's fun to revisit and just see how different movies used to be. Because there's, musical interludes. There's a few things that might not hold up today, but just how much visual stuff was happening within this character story. Another one that It's a Wonderful Life. Love watching that every year around Christmas time. My dad turned me on to that hobby of he would light it up. He would put it on Christmas Eve, and I never really got it. And then every year, it's just I get more and more out of it. It's just maybe part of getting older and just enjoying all of the details. And then Dog Day Afternoon blew my mind the first time I saw that. The performances, incredible, and then Sidney Lumet as the director, just
the tops.
I kind of want to go into like a deep dive of his stuff again these days.
For sure, and I won't say, but it was just acting, unbelievable acting,
yes,
unbelievable acting in that era. That was the era where that was a bit of a peak. That was almost like peak post '60s Hollywood, right?
Yeah,
yeah. No, all good ones, all good ones. I like it. And Paul Newman, my God,
I almost picked Cool Hand Luke for one of mine.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, it was a great movie.
nice.
Yeah.
All right. Well, Patrick goes first for a film that you consider underrated.
Oh, underrated. Oh, good. The underrated, overrated is hard these days because everyone has opinions and stuff. This was really messing with my head. I wrote a note down. Let's see what I did.
It is, but it's inspired by a friend of mine who's a professional drummer who always wants to stir shit up on Facebook. So he'll literally post, Neil Peart is the most overrated drummer of all time. Debate me. So I was like, okay, let's do underrated, overrated for film,
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Gosh, I guess I feel like so many things are properly rated, but what's something that like... Oh, I think Casino's underrated. I think people love Goodfellas so much, and they underrate Casino, and I think Casino's maybe neck and neck there, and should be placed 1A and 1B every now and then.
That's a good one because I think everyone does kind of give Casino the shaft.
A lot of Scorsese's new stuff, I think, gets like aggregated a little higher and stuff. Yeah,
he's an interesting cat these days. He's thoroughly self-indulgent, but my understanding is he can't stop working because he needs the money.
Oh, is that right?
Is that true?
Didn't he have a tax problem or something? I forget.
Oh, he might.
I think he hit that point where he's like, "Look, I need to work." But anyway, I shouldn't say that. He's an
Allegedly.
artiste. He's an artiste.
Right. Yeah.
All right. You want to?
Yeah, underrated. I think so. For me, it's Pop Star, Never Stop, Never Stopping. It's like the movie is so funny. It is unbelievably funny, and I think it was something that enough people just haven't seen it or really watched it to appreciate it. I saw it in the theater when it came out, and when I was living in New York, and it was so funny that I actually needed like a moment of drama in the middle to like just have a break from laughing because it was like exhausting because it was so fucking funny. So that'd be my choice.
I missed it.
Yeah, it's
But it's what's
so
his
funny.
name?
Andy Samberg.
Yeah, Singer. Who I do think is excellent.
Mm-hmm.
He's incredible. What they do with that movie is it's just so funny, and it's such a great commentary on modern pop music. And like every song that they wrote for it is just so stupid in a smart way.
Which is a real thing.
It's a real art.
That's a real thing.
It's a real art.
I like it because you had a super dark comedy, and now you went for the I mean, honestly, he's kind of doing what the Zucker brothers did, right? Like it's like straight up, and Mel Brooks, the great Mel Brooks,
Yes.
right? Like spoof is not done too well anymore.
Yeah, it's hard to find a good satire, which Death to Smoochie is also a satire, but it's very dark.
Yeah.
But
I guess Keenan Ivory Wayans nailed the spoof thing for a little while.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. With all that. But yeah. All right. Excellent. All right. You're both so nice.
Yeah.
Do I have to give the overrated disclaimer? Which is you're not necessarily saying a movie is bad.
Yeah.
You're just saying the level of enthusiasm or devotion or awards were not
commensurate
with but it can be excellent. So you're not. I'm just saying you don't have to be a hater.
No,
You both strike me as like too nice to just say this is the biggest piece of shit ever made. But if you want to, feel free.
Yeah, no, I think there are a lot of things that are loathed or deservedly so. But an overrated movie for me was Bohemian Rhapsody. So it won the Oscar for Best Picture, and I was like, fuck.
It did?
Yes. It won the best.
I
It
forgot.
cleaned up at the Oscars. It won like Best Editing, Best Sound Mixing, Best Acting. And it's like, they're fucking lip syncing the whole time. There was some real acting involved, and like there was moments that I enjoyed, but I'm not like a Queen diehard. But the fact that it won over like some other incredible movies, and they're escaping me right now, but it was just so maddening.
I back you 1,000%. And actually, I do love Queen.
Yeah.
And I probably, admittedly, wept during most of the songs being performed.
Yeah.
And then when there wasn't music, that movie was crap.
Yeah,
that movie was
there's like
boring
one
and
good
milk
scene.
toast.
Yeah.
And if you know a little bit about Queen, you know it's nonsense.
Right. It was like total like watered down.
It was old fashioned Hollywood where they're
yeah.
like, we don't have to be accurate. We can tell the story we want.
Yes.
And when it wasn't about the music, I hated that
Yeah.
film. But I did watch it twice just for the music scenes. But I fast forwarded.
Yeah.
There you go.
Expertly done. It's like it's not like it's a well made movie, but I just didn't think it deserved all.
That's soulless.
Yeah.
All right. You got an overrated, Patrick?
Overrated for me, I'm gonna say American Beauty. I was there when it came out, and it was cool. We all thought it was cool, but some people are still holding on to it like, poor Spacey or whatever. And it's like, no, that movie, it's not that good, guys. It's not. If it doesn't hold up, I'm sorry.
That's interesting because I haven't seen it for like 20 plus years.
It was one of those that was on rotation, like in the early 2000s, I feel like.
No, everyone considered it brilliant.
Yeah. I don't think it holds up. I just think it's a little more contrived than anyone realized.
Yeah, and now that you're reminding me, it's problematic. Not just because of Kevin Spacey.
No, right.
But because of
the story,
the neighbor character is actually a pretty awful portrayal, I think. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. I think the film could be called homophobic. That's not a good thing.
No.
Yeah, right.
And sexist. Yeah. and yeah. Wow.
I don't know why that popped into my head, but I was like, I feel like someone was championing that recently. I was like, are we sure about that?
Yeah.
That's my overrated.
Agreed.
Yeah.
Two good overrateds. All right. Last question. A lesser known film that people should seek out.
Oh, gosh. I just saw this in the theater, and I'm still grappling with it. So I think it was pretty popular and among the younger generation. But I saw the TV Glow. It's an indie film, and it's got a little nostalgia feel for it because it's set in the kind of 90s. I think I want to say 90s. But there's so many things that are, for me, was off-putting, but ultimately made me really think about it, was that how it was playing with these conventions that I've been conditioned to kind of just accept. So, and it's a beautiful metaphor at the end of the day. I don't want to spoil it because it's got elements to it, but I'm interested to revisit that film and just keep thinking about it, and I hope other people do because there's something really interesting going on there.
Did you see it on streaming or a festival?
Theater.
Oh, it had a little release?
Yeah, it had a little release.
What was the title again?
I saw the TV Glow.
Okay.
And I'm sure it'll be on streaming soon.
An indie that got a release, that's something.
Yeah, yeah. And, the filmmaker is out there. There's criticism about it. I think they did a pretty big festival run of some sort. I'm not totally sure, but there's conversation out there, and it's really interesting to just see what someone who's a contemporary is like channeling different ideas through movies.
And you heard me talk about title. Like, that's a good title.
Yeah.
You need a good title.
It's a good title. It's interesting. It's got a lot of different genres kind of happening at once. And ultimately, a little theatrical in some ways. And I don't think it was necessarily made for me, like the bro code character by any means. But I find it interesting to wrestle with, that I was challenged by it. Yeah.
I didn't say it during the interview podcast, that's the one before this, but you are about as far from that character as
Well, thanks, I appreciate that.
you are. He's actually, I don't mean to be the fool who goes, oh, you must really be an actor because you were not being yourself in that. But yeah, for sure.
For me, You Were Never Really Here by Lynn Ramsey.
Oh, yeah, I saw that in theater too.
Yeah, I saw it in theater. It was great. This Joaquin Phoenix plays a private investigator that goes to find a missing girl.
With a hammer.
With a hammer and a plastic bag. But that's for himself.
Yeah. Yeah, that's a good one.
Yeah, it's a real good movie.
I didn't see that one either.
Yeah, it's worth checking out.
I did watch that. What was the documentary he did? The fake documentary with
Casey.
Casey Affleck directed it.
I'm not here. Something like that.
Somebody had here in there too. But
Yeah, it did.
yeah,
It's a similar title.
he's great though.
Yeah, he is.
All right, excellent. So you noticed that I wrote down your lesser knowns.
Yeah.
And in my,
Yeah,
I literally grabbed my phone and add them to my movies to watch list
there you go.
because they both sound really good.
Cool.
Yeah.
All right. Well, any last words? You want to? We'll have all your links in the show notes and whatnot.
Yeah.
Night Moves and Silent Partner, also great films. That just are in my head now.
Night Moves. That's just I just think of the
Gene
Bob.
Hackman movie.
Really?
You find it on I saw it on TCM, I think, during their noir summer, and Silent Partners with Christopher Plummer and Elliot Gould.
Oh man, Christopher Plummer.
Back in the day too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Dang. All right.
I can't match that.
I just didn't know where they didn't fall into my list, and I'm like, why did I not say them?
Well, because it's funny. I always. Well, I shouldn't do it, but you're both so good at improv. The question that didn't make the list is a guilty pleasure.
Oh,
I don't know if you can whip one out.
a movie guilty pleasure.
Yeah, like a movie that you know it's garbage, but you love it.
I mean, I went and saw the newest Bad Boys in theaters, and that made a lot of money. The Bad Boys 4, and while watching it, I was like, did I see Bad Boys 3? I loved Bad Boys.
And that's Martin
1 and
alone,
2.
right?
Yeah.
There's no Will. It's just Martin this time.
No, they're both
in it.
They're both in it.
God, I swear I saw a
And
commercial
they've
with
kind
no
of
Will.
Switched roles because now, it's it was an odd experience. People liked it and loved it. Maybe it's overrated, but
But it's a guilty pleasure,
that
sure.
was a guilty pleasure.
Buddy
yeah.
cop movie.
Yeah,
Yeah.
just dumb action with some bits. I like it.
Yeah.
Excellent.
Mine, I'll say, is The Proposal with the Sandra Bullock and Ryan Reynolds as a rom-com.
There's no such thing as a bad Sandra Bullock film.
No, not at all.
There kind of isn't.
There's a proposal bit in the new Deadpool Wolverine.
Is there?
Spoiler. Yeah.
Okay, I haven't seen it yet.
Oh, does she show up?
No,
Oh, that would have been that would have been epic.
amazing.
Almost everybody else does. But
It sounds like it, yeah.
This is a Deadpool household.
Oh,
we,
good.
Right.
we actually those are films that we've watched multiple times.
Yeah.
Sure. Yeah.
Just keep going back.
I like that brand of comedy.
Yeah, same.
It works.
It
Yeah.
does.
All right. Well, I'll wrap us up because also you gentlemen have been here quite a while. You gave me your whole evening. You guys are so nice. All right. Well, thank you for listening to the Discover Indie Film Podcast. Like and subscribe. Write a review. Tell your friends about it. And if you want to learn more, go to discoverindiefilm.com. You can learn about the podcast and the TV series that is a companion to it on Amazon Prime Video. You can also learn about. So I told you that Sean and Patrick they made a film called Bro Code. You can, It was at the Film Invasion Los Angeles Film Festival. I never say it that way. In 2023, if you want to learn more about that festival, go to filminvasionla.com, or it's at filminvasionla on social media. Its sister festival, Sherman Oaks Film Festival, every December. Other ones, June. Notice they're 6 months apart? Yeah. I used to have time off in between them. Now, they're too big. But that's when you can learn about it at ShermanOaksFF.com or at ShermanOaksFF on social media. And yeah, Bro Code is going to be on a cool streaming service that I think is going to be called the Indie Channel. So go to Roku, Amazon Fire TV, Apple TV, Android TV, iPhone, iOS, or Android mobile, and either download an app called TVHi or an app called the Indie Channel. Why not? Do it. Support independent artists, people who make films out of their own hearts and souls and sometimes wallets, or their friends' wallets if they use Kickstarter. But anyway, thank you both for being here.
Thank you.
Thank you.
And thank you everyone for listening.